And good morning, Space Engineers. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome back. So, we got some mods back. Yay! We got mods again. I'm very happy for this. It means I can start rebuilding my base. That does make me incredibly pleased with my little self. Nice. Hydroponics, mess hall stuff. Awesome. Ooh, we got coffee machines now. That's kind of cool. So anyways, what were we working on last time? We're working on this. I remember how the controls work in this game. We're working on this thing. Right. So we need... Now, here's the question that I'm going to run into. Do we want it sloping a 2x1? Or do we want it sloping on a 1x1? Oops. That's right, we don't have any. So do we want it like that? Let's see what we can see through here. You know, that's almost as good, I think. Because then if we put the command chair... Anyways, if we put a flight seat right there, that should give us enough visibility that we can actually kind of see what we're doing. It won't be fantastic, but it'll be better than nothing. So I think that's what we'll do. And then we can put in... like there. There. Right, do that all the way around. So we have some also, and that'll give us some texturing on the bottom. For those of you guys who don't know something about designing stuff in sort of voxel games like this, texturing is kind of important. So, too many things that people build tend to be flat surfaces. And flat surfaces aren't really, I'd say, appealing to the human brain, is the best way of saying it. There are exceptions, you know, modern art design and that sort of stuff. Of course, some of us think it's absolutely hideous, but that's my own personal opinion. You guys can ignore me if you like. Anyways, so the human brain doesn't like flat featureless surfaces, and these voxel games lend themselves really well to flat featureless surfaces. Because honestly, well, if you don't have a bit of imagination, you end up building stuff like the back of the Titan. Which is kind of a flat featureless surface. There. Alright, so now we can actually see what that gets us for visibility.
Station fuel critical.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, so that isn't perfect. Now, what I think I can do... is shift it back a little bit. Of course, it's going to take forever and a day to do this, but that is neither here nor there.
Station fuel critical.
Really? Though... It's this bottom part of the command chair that just gets in the way constantly. And I could put this on the ceiling, but then I'd be piloting this thing upside down. Unless I move this down a level. But then this will be just as bad. Alright, well, let's experiment. How far back can we move this thing? What I'm fighting is this control panel, right? The control panel at the very front. If I had my way, I'd have it moved. You know, that's better. That's actually much better. Because now what I can do is I can then... I think I want this one. I need 2 more girders. And I don't have 2 more girders. Isn't it ironic that it always works out that way? Yeah, I don't know why I keep running all the way back to the station when I could just run back to Titan. And do it over here. Gosh, this room is bright. There. Problem solved. So... Nope, wrong way. I can't see everything I want to see. You know, that's the downside, so... Construction components, Also, I got a front port on this thing. Construction components, I'm gonna need... Let's just say 20 of them. Should be good enough for government work. Of course, the station doesn't have any power, which is a real challenge here, but... Let's see what this looks like completed, alright? And yes, we're spending this entire episode working on the command bubble for this thing. Actually, this isn't really the command bubble, this is just... Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's do these as slopes. Right. Like that. Right, that should work. We can put some corners in like this. Like over here, maybe. Oops. Now, we're not going to finish up the back yet, because I think at this point, the back... We may have to make this command room a little bit bigger than I'd originally planned it to be. Can I actually fit? It's actually a very good question. Alright, so we're going to have to do that side main. Sorry about that cutout, guys. I ran out of disk space in my drive. I need a new drive now. Great. So, I decided to flip this thing over, and now we control it like this. Except it actually needs to be a little bit forward of where I stuck it, but that's fine. No matter how I do it, I can't seem to, like, get this thing in visual. No, I should be able to... Okay, I swear this does something funky with my field of view. Like, am I gonna have to turn that into glass as well? Yeah, I think I'm going to. Okay. Well, that's no big deal. We just need to go back to our assembler. Flip ourselves over first. Oh, I do that a lot. I do that too much. So part of the problem I end up having is that I'm actually really good at spatial relationships. So I'm actually fairly good at not realizing that I'm upside down, which sounds counterintuitive. The reason I do it is because it doesn't matter to me. Like, seriously, it doesn't occur to me at all that there's a problem, that I'm upside down, until I realize, wait a second. That's not how I parked the Titan. Because remember, there's no up or down in space. There's everything. There's whatever orientation you're at. In navigation, there is some talk about what's an up or a down, but it's more an up or a down in reference to something else. So, up or down in relation to the Earth, up or down in relation to the Sun, up or down in relation to... You get my point. So there's no true up or true down like there is on a planet. There's up or down relative. So all my ships right now have an up and a down relative to each other that they're all following because I've decided that's the way it should be. There's no reason that I couldn't put a gravity field on the underside of this asteroid, well, underside as far as I'm concerned, and call that my down. All right? Or call that my up from that orientation. There's no reason I couldn't do that. Right? So, you have to be careful when you're talking about space, and you're talking about kind of ups and downs and sides and to sides and how all that works. Like, for example, this part of my ship is upside down relative to the rest of it. See? Upside down relative to the rest of it. Now, it just so happens that this is the orientation I need her to be in to actually see what's going on. So, this is the orientation it'll be in. I can see myself. Cool. So, yeah, that's kind of my little rant on ups and downs in space and how that actually works, and the fact that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. I mean, that's the point at the end of the day. Like, I'm working upside down now. Woo, I'm working upside down. See? Let me pull back a little bit. See? Upside down. Just to mess with you guys, I'm going to stay upside down I'm going to try and stay upside down for the rest of this episode. Of course, this thing's going to mess me up because I have to get in it. To back off a little bit. Oh no, I'm still upside down. That's nice. So, see? And then as I put these passageways in. Passageway. Passageway. Ooh, that looks cool. Sorry. New mods, Steam integration, that sort of stuff. You guys understand, right? Passageway. There we go. So as I put this stuff in, I'm actually building it down. See? From my perspective, I'm going down. From my other ship's perspectives, I was going up. So, yeah, it takes a bit to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's actually kind of cool that it makes some things a lot easier, actually, especially in terms of just getting into places and out of places. Because, you know, in Minecraft, you always have that moment where you're like, I can't quite fit where I need to fit. And, you know, when you're playing in space, it doesn't matter because you can spin yourself around, you can go up, go down, go side to side, however you need to do it to get yourself into that location you want to be in. So yeah. I mean, I love it. I love space games. I will never be able to go to space, unfortunately. Excuse me, game. There we go. I will sadly probably never go to space myself. I have eye issues and not serious. I mean, I'm nearsighted. That's not really like an eye issue. But if you want to be a pilot or an astronaut, that's an eye issue. Okay, game. Oh, I know why you're doing that. Okay. I know what I'm doing here. All right. But yeah, if you want to be a pilot or an astronaut or, you know, anyone like that, it's an eye issue, and it disqualifies you automatically. Which is unfortunate. I don't get me wrong. I understand why completely. Trust me. I wouldn't be too thrilled if my pilot was, you know, blind as a bat. You know, maybe the silly thing in my mind is that, like, LASIK and stuff, disqualifies you for, say, the Air Force, which is most astronauts are drawn from the United States Air Force. Most U.S. astronauts are drawn from the U.S. Air Force, but most astronauts are U.S. astronauts, so go figure. Most astronauts are drawn from the USAF, and you can't be a fighter pilot if you have LASIK. Actually, I think the Air Force you can't join if you've had LASIK. LASIK's the surgery that fixes your vision. But they'll give you LASIK in the military, right? Like the Army is now actually paying for LASIK for Special Forces troops. Yeah, Special Forces troops wear glasses. Yeah, the Army is paying for LASIK for Special Forces units. But if you've had it before you joined up, you can't go in? Doesn't understand it. I mean, it's a similar thing to, like, you know, I've probably mentioned before, I have ADD. And I take medication to help me deal with my ADD. Me and a good chunk of the rest of the country. Now, the thing is, I want to join the military. I want to be a JAG, which is a military attorney. I want to be a JAG. I am probably not going to see a frontline combat zone. Probably. There's a chance. I mean, this is the military. There is a chance. But probably not. Let's put it that way. If for some strange reason I am a JAG and I'm seeing a frontline situation, then something has gone horribly, horribly wrong. So, but they still say that you can't join if you have ADD. Well, it's not that anymore, but it's equally stupid. You have to wait a year after the last time you took your ADD medication before they'll let you join up. Now, okay, I understand wanting to make sure that you're functional without it, but honestly, that should be pretty clear if you've ever had, say, a neuropsych write-up or, you know, any sort of testing done. It should be fairly clear. But I don't get why it's this whole, you know, oh, that's cool, that's, okay, awesome, awesome, oh, that's awesome. That is absolutely epic, because now we can actually access terminal and control. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm sorry. So I just think it's silly, you know? It's like, come on, guys. This is like the year 2000 here. Why are we... Oh, right. Derp. You know, this is the year 2000. Why are we having such an issue with this? Yeah, people have ADD. People take medication to help them deal with it because it actually does really help. You know, it's one of those drugs where if you really need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. You know, it's like, come on, DoD. What are you guys doing? But I'll deal with it. So anyways, that huge tangent. So, but it comes down to the same thing, right? It comes down to the same, like, they're not adapting to modern stuff and how modern medicine works, and, you know, I think it's just kind of silly. But, you know, that happens in any field. You get people entrenched in a position of authority, and they're only used to looking at things from that position of authority, right? Or from the mindset they had when they weren't in authority. So, you know, it can be pretty out of date sometimes. Alright, so that's enough rambling for one day. I think we've basically... Did I actually get that centered? Yes, I did. I think we basically have this thing pretty much all set now. I'm going to finish up this area here. Because this, we're going to have to wall it up. Right? So that's going to be a lot of block placing and a lot of just doing this over and over and over again. So other than that... No, I don't want that there. Because I have plans for those areas. So other than that, that's pretty good for the cargo ship. We have to build our actual bridge. That is... What I just did was not our actual bridge. What I just did was a docking control station, let's say. Because sometimes bringing these ships into docking is kind of tricky without any sort of docking manager or docking UI. You know, all the stuff we have in Kerbal Space Program we take completely for granted. Yeah, that thing. So anyways, I will probably see you guys in the next episode. This will probably be a lot more done in the next episode. But until that point, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, happy flying.